Hi, my name is Jennifer Hennig, and I will be discussing how to manage anger in the workplace today. And some of the focus points will be just some facts about that, the causes, and some solutions. Ultimately, our response to anger is our responsibility. One of my favorite life quotes is from the Bible. James chapter 1 verse 1 says, "Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger." And I have to practice that almost daily. This topic of anger in the workplace is relevant because we're all going to be working the rest of our lives in different places, and this is who we spend a lot of time with in addition to our families, with a lot of people from different backgrounds, and conflict is going to be sure to arise. You can almost guarantee it. I have worked in oil and gas for 24 years, and over the last 10 plus years, I've managed different teams of men and women of all different ages and cultures, and I've had to go through training myself that our work provided. So with conflict comes anger, and it is completely unavoidable. So 3 main points I'm going to talk about is what is anger, some of the common issues in the workplace, and different ways we can self-manage. So the first point I want to talk about is anger as an emotion. Studies say that one of the first indicators of this is an avoidance, and this can lead to distress or failure, which also points back to self. That has a lot to do with your response. And unfortunately, some people do use it as a power tactic for managing. That is not correct, but there's hope. So one of the things you can do is become skilled in anger management and consider just in the moment that something is happening, that you may have received a lack of information, or maybe been led to believe something wrong about a situation. So once you have a better understanding that anger is an emotion and you don't just generalize it, then you will learn how to recognize it, and then you can start learning how to manage it. So some of the things that cause anger are just issues that are completely out of our control in the workplace, like budgets, tight schedules, and delays. But studies show that this type of pressure leads to stress, and then that leads to depression and anxiety, and that just creates bad feelings, and that is understandable. There are counter moves for relief, and some of those things that can be done personally are music, exercise, finding humor in things, and just learning how to refocus. Some other things studies point to that prove true is to develop yourself in conflict management, get training and get help, and that we as people, we understand that things happen out of our control. That is key. And that but we can change how we respond. So now next we'll look at how to manage unavoidable situations. Sometimes we can't avoid being on the receiving end of anger or avoid it at all. So some of the things that studies show is that people who prepare and become more knowledgeable about this topic, we perform better and we make better decisions in those unexpected moments because we perceive things better, and it changes our approach and we have a different outlook. For example, if we become self-skilled in conflict management, it increases our awareness mainly about self and reflection, and we can critique ourselves, and we can change the outcome based on our response, and then we'll just start seeing conflict as a distraction and we can refocus, and that is key. Having said all this, it's about time to wrap up, and now we have some solutions on different ways we can help manage anger now that we recognize that it's an emotion and we all experience it, so we can stop trying to avoid it. It is often caused, in the workplace, it's often caused most of the time for situations completely out of our control, and that we do have the power to neutralize it through training and self-management. I have added a link called the Wellness Routine Toolkit, and it is just something that you can do on your personal time, and it's about finding overall balance. I found it on a website from Munson Healthcare, and it will be on the link in the discussion boards under Module 3, and I hope you've enjoyed this presentation and that it will help you in your future, and thank you for your time.